with Andy Woodman after Bromley's giant killing and cup set of Championship recently relegated Premier League Ipswich Town. I start like that, Andy, because you have to get your props. We went to Newcastle last season and took them to 45 minutes for Newcastle to have to bring on their big guns to get the win. Ipswich also brought on a lot of their big guns today around the 70th minute and couldn't get the win. But I'm going to start somewhere, actually, that you might not expect. When the penalties went in, the Bromley players went straight to the Ipswich players and said, well, obviously, well done, commiserations, etc. Didn't do a big celebration. Was that planned, or is that a sign of what you've instilled in the squad?
No, that's what we are. We're humble, we don't want to be disrespectful. We certainly don't want to be disrespectful to a massive club like Ipswich. And I've said that from my day one here. We've been in that dressing room when other teams have put the radio on, blasted out, banging the walls and all of that. I don't think it serves you well. I don't think it shows a lot of respect or class, and it's not something I've ever wanted. And my players follow suit. You can hear a pin drop in that dressing room after this. Almost lads just ready to come in tomorrow and get to work again. And that's us. We haven't achieved nothing. We just won a football match in the cold light of day.
You're down. A good one. Yeah, you're downplaying it slightly, but. Moving on then and looking at the match as a whole, I don't know how you pick out any standout players in that. I guess you'd say that everybody performed to the exact game plan as to what you wanted tonight.
Yeah, I think everyone played their role. You could go to the back line was excellent, the goalkeeper was fantastic, the midfield, the energy in there, the blocks, and the front guys, who the two guys at the beginning of the game held the line up really well. And then, the ones that finished off the game, everyone done their part, and I'll sort of extend that to the staff as well. They all done their bit as well. These staff work their socks off here. So, as much as I get the plaudits and the team get the plaudits, there's a lot of people that also deserve a pat on the back to make sure that we get this result, as you know.
Since pre-season, you've been saying you've got 2 11s. You made a lot of changes today, and you wouldn't have known. It's even disrespectful for me to say it's a second Bromley team. That was just the squad.
I said that in the team meeting. I said this team I'm putting out tonight. Don't think this is an emotional. You need to get some minutes. I'm putting you out because I think you're good enough to win this football match, and I've said that all pre-season. And generally, there's not a player in that dressing room that doesn't deserve to start the first game of the season or the second game of the season or the third. They all deserve to start, and that's a beautiful situation I'm in. It's not something I enjoy when I leave people out. I can assure you that I really don't enjoy it because I love them all, and I know how much it hurts them, it hurts their families, and it's certainly not done with any bad intentions, but it's great. I've got a great group of players that are all chomping at the bit to play and get the win and get the success for this football club.
I will focus on one player. And I say it because you're a former goalkeeper. You've said Sam Long is another number one. He got the man of the match today, and he was brilliant.
Sam Long's been brilliant since he's been at his football club. He's been patient. He's played the role of a number two, but he's not a number two. He's a number one. I've said it many times. He's a really good goalkeeper, and I'm delighted for Sam tonight. I generally mean that because I've been a goalkeeper. You star in a penalty shootout. He's had a brilliant game, and you make a couple of saves, and then your team loses, and you don't get the plaudits you kind of feel you deserve. But he should get every plaudit tonight. He made some big saves in the game, and he made 2 big penalty saves, and he's breathing down Grant's neck, and Grant knows that. Grant knows the position. We all know the position, and that's what we want: healthy competition where people are ready to come in the team.
I'll leave you with this one. So obviously it's probably cool down tomorrow, get the guys ready again, Fleetwood on Saturday. How do you pick an 11 now?
Yeah, it's not easy, but we have to make sure that, a little bit of tonight's selection was also that if we play the same boys that played Saturday, we're going to risk them with injuries. They're spiked, their numbers are spiked, so then it risks us with hamstrings. And the biggest thing for me was not to get anyone injured tonight because Saturday's an important game. So we'll pick a team Saturday, we'll do all the testing, make sure that everyone's in a good place health-wise. But I'll guarantee you they'll all be chomping at the bit to play Saturday, and that's what I need.
Last season in the FA Cup, you said you wanted Newcastle. Some of the big boys come in the second round.
Who we got? Which big boys?
Apparently, do Manchester United come in the second round because they're not in Europe? So what are you saying? Old Trafford, will you take that one?
That would be nice. I've actually run at Old Trafford, so that would be nice. Look, I think we should just be honest. Of course, we want a big draw away from home. Of course, we want this club to get some finances. And there's a stand over there that's cost money. There's all this stuff, and I think, we shouldn't take for granted, what the chairman's put into this football club. And I generally want him to, we get a big draw. It's not like he'll take it out. He'll just go into the club more, and it's important, that this club and the cup competition for this club get some money into this club.
Cheers, Andy. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Cool.